It's the radio guy, Mike Prince. Welcome to another episode of the Mike Prince Show right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at the Mike Prince Show. The YouTube channel is Open Mic Broadcast Network. The website, obnradio.com, and the 24-hour dial-in message line, 713-570-6736. And without any further delay, we'll jump right into today's episode. Man, oh man, I must have poked the bear this morning. Created a poll on this morning, and you guys are answering often and early in regards to if the Southwestern Athletic Conference should consider expanding by way of non-HBCU institutions. And right now it is a resounding no. The conversation struck up somewhat on last night's show with Rob Butler, as he is the Southland Report analyst, and with the Western Athletic Conference extending the invitation to Lamar, Stephen F. Austin, Sam Houston, and Abilene Christian, what would happen to the rest of the Southland Conference if they were to accept those invitations? And the possibility came up of A, Southland schools converging over to the SWAC conference, or the Southland school trying to lure some SWAC conferences. We know in times past, Texas Southern and Prairie View had kicked the tires on the possibilities of going to the Southland. There have been speculations of Southern possibly going over to the Southland. So it made one wonder and think outside the box, could this be a reality? And the way things have happened in 2020, anything could be a reality. But you have been speaking loud and clear on our poll at the Twitter handle at the Mike Prince Show that is definitely not on your forecast table. We'll keep an eye and ear out and open for what could, if not even just a casual conversation between the two conferences. In other college football news, tough times in the Big Ten, in particular that with Mr. Jim Harbaugh from Michigan Wolverines. The Wolverines lose to Michigan State on Saturday, and some are saying it is possibly the worst loss on the Jim Harbaugh's tenure at Michigan. And that's somewhat hard to believe, but that's the way they feel in Ann Arbor. Ohio State took care of Penn State, and in the SEC, Texas A&M takes care of Arkansas. I thought that would have been a much better contest, but nonetheless, the Aggies hold strong. Missouri ended up being Missouri, losing to Florida, and Missouri, along with Nebraska, have got to be scratching their heads and wondering if they've gone off into the deep end of the pool of the Big Ten and the SEC. I wonder, would they consider going back to the Big 12? Probably not, because there's just far too much money on the table. But nonetheless, it is what it is. In the world of college hoops, Southwestern Athletic Conference will be launching its 2020 Media Basketball Day today and tomorrow with the conclusion. It'll be featuring all institutions, men and women's basketball programs on pre-recorded interviews. They still should be very intriguing. Each school will have their head coach and a player of representation. Meanwhile, the NCAA are exploring locations in Las Vegas to see where they could have a bubble-like concept as they did with the NBA to make sure they have a successful March Madness. Can't wait to see the results of that. In the NFL, the woes continue for the Cowboys. They lose to the Eagles. Texans had a bye. Tua gets his first career win as the Dolphins take care of the Rams. How about those Pittsburgh Steelers? 7-0 after a slugfest with the Baltimore Ravens on yesterday. The Steelers will be coming to Texas to take on the Dallas Cowboys this coming week. Back to the resounding no that is echoing from should the SWAC consider non-HBCUs for expansion. When you look at the recent movements with North Carolina A&T, Hampton, and a somewhat long-term movement that was taking place by Tennessee State, what would be wrong reversing the roles rather than the HBCU teams going to the non-HBCU conferences, the non-HBCU teams come to the HBCU conferences? I figure if it's good for the gander, it ought to be good for the goose. But you guys are speaking loud and clear, and we'll continue to let you know how the numbers come out as we further look at this thing down the road. Don't forget, tomorrow is election day. Get out there and cast your vote. It is the responsible thing to do. It's the right thing to do. People have sacrificed their lives, sacrificed their freedoms in order for us to extend our voices through the ballot box. 9.7 million people who are registered voters have already voted in the state of Texas. And what's even more intriguing about that, there's still 7.2 million people who have yet to vote who are registered voters. And it could all be going down tomorrow. I'd like to recognize our sponsors here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network: Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union, Attorney Lee Van Richardson, Temple of Refuge Ministries, Prairie View Athletic Club, Helping Hands Lawn Service, Diva Skin Conditioner. Thank you guys so much. Encouraging you to go to the website at obnradio.com, become a listening partner today to help extend our coverage here from the Open Mic Broadcast Network. My time has come where I must exit stage left, and I must go for right now. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince, and as always, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.